All right, guys, you guys are entering the rhythm zone right here for UFC London. We got Lerone Murphy taking on Movsar Evloev. I'm pumped for this card. It's a little tricky with the lines as far as the betting way, but I'm very pumped for this. There is some dogs that I like that we're gonna get to here. Happy to share this with you guys. Before you guys get in to this next area, make sure you go like and subscribe, share the video, follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Discord, Juice Reels. Shoot me an email if you like the beat that you are listening to or want to talk other business inquiries, or if you even just want some bets sent directly to you without a third party. I'm excited for this. Let's get into the green zone. All right, so as you can see, we got Movsar Evloev, we got MVP Michael Venom Page, we got Montaz Contra Davicius, and we got Nathaniel Wood. Now, I just want to start this off with Movsar Evloev. All right, he's coming in at that minus 240 favorite. He's in the green zone because, you know, one, undefeated. He does have a decent significant strikes landed per minute, and he absorbs about 2.5. I like that differential there. He gets about 4.5 takedowns per 15 minutes. So, you know, he's an elite control grappler for sure. And his control time is like the highest among in the division. And that's what's been winning a lot of fights. The dominant positional grappler with relentless chain wrestling, that's what he is. He outlands opponents while controlling them. So that's a really rare combo here. He's an extremely safe fighter, low damage taken, a lot of high control. The thing is, he doesn't have that finishing rate, and with someone with Lerone Murphy, it leaves him 5 rounds to possibly get a night-ending shot. So I definitely think, as far as a prop, messing with Evloev, definitely want to get into the takedowns, something like that. If you don't want to directly go like a money line, I think 3.5 is super live. If this fight goes the distance, I see 5+ takedowns happen. Lerone Murphy possibly getting up and getting took down again, but 3.5 is live. If you can find a good prop there, I say run that in. Next up, we got Montaz Contra Davicius. You see that 700, you get a little weary. I'm gonna tell you why he's a lock. His finish rate is extremely high, mostly early finishes, 1 round. This is a big step up in competition as far as, reaching the UFC. He's an aggressive finisher. He hunts very early. His opponent, Antonio Tricoli, historically struggles under pressure. Any type of pressure, grappling pressure, striking pressure, he just does not do well against it. And Contra Davicius is a head down, head first type of pressure fighter. He's limited as far as data goes and high level competition. So it's really hard to put your trust in that. And I would 100% say stay away from a money line as far as Contra Davicius, at a minus 700. Definitely don't look to get your value there. Find a prop bet, find a, inside the distance, find a, rounds 1 or 2. I think those are the very live way to go, but I just don't see a way of Antonio Tricoli winning. I don't see it. With the Evloev side, I see it, but I have my faith in Evloev and his safe approach. So and it goes the same for Contra Davicius. I'm gonna trust his pressure here, and I'm gonna trust he comes out like the way he did in Dana White's Contender Series. Under 1.5 rounds, if you don't want to bet on him and you're scared of that upside and the new fighter coming into the UFC, definitely look for this fight to end inside the distance, because with the way he fights, it's a finish or get finished mentality. And so if you're thinking that there is a chance with the Tricoli, and you're not 100% sure, just go fight ends under 1.5. I'm sure you can find some lines under 500 if you want to throw something like that as an anchor on a parlay or something around. All right, but Contra Davicius, that's why he made the green zone. All right, let's get into the third one. We got MVP Michael Venom Page. First of all, significant strikes landed per minute, 5.5, very high accuracy. It's because his distance control. He has that awkward style that keeps people from wanting to advance and not knowing what they're going to get into. Sam Patterson is a good fighter, and I think he's going to be getting better, but I think this is just a huge step up in competition facing Michael Venom Page. I think Michael Venom Page, even though he's on the older side, he does not have those UFC miles yet, although he has outside of the UFC mile. He's looking really good. I know he's had some, he had a loss versus Ian Gary, but that guy's fighting for the belt. I think Ian Gary is dog walking Sam Patterson, and it was a good fight until it got to the ground. And I know Sam Patterson has submissions and some ground game, but I don't know if he's at that level of Ian Gary. I think Michael Venom Page here is going to show some levels. I think he also gets a low amount of damage towards him as well. Michael Venom Page, you know, he's absorbing around like 2 strikes per minute or something like that. So he's putting out over double than what he's absorbing. The takedown defense is questionable there, obviously. He can be neutralized by pressure grapplers, but I don't think Sam Peterson's a pressure grappler. The prop I like for that fight though, definitely look for a 150 plus combined, or if you want to just mess with the Michael Venom side, he's averaging like 34.5 strikes, or I don't know, over significant strikes over the fight, so, or something like that. So definitely to look around for that, but I think he gets the job done here. I think he shows levels. Decision, possible KO. If you want to go, you know, decision or KO prop, Michael Venom Page, probably find it, you know, I think I seen like a -240, -300, something down that road. I don't know. They're a little high, little steep, but you can definitely go that route. Now, last but certainly not least, we got a dog. We got a dog on the green zone. All right, we got with Nathaniel Wood. I caught him at a +175. I know he got up as high as like a 180 at one point. This is a straight value pick as well. I think he gets this job done. I don't think he gets finished. I think he's tough. I know this guy looks scary. Losin Kaida. I know he looks scary coming off of the regional scene. Good finishes in Risen. Nathaniel Wood's good. Nathaniel Wood just beat Jose Miguel Delgado. He was getting dog walked in the first round and came back and just showed heart and determination and durability and high fight IQ with late takedowns to seal the deal. And we all know Losin Kaida, his takedown, he's not really a grappler like that. He just has mad strength. But I think when you tie in Nathaniel Wood's technicality, not only in the striking and the grappling, also his durability, I don't see Kaida winning. If he catches that big shot, he does. He catches it. That happens. This is the UFC, but Nathaniel Wood is just, you know, I think the more technical, better fighter here. Obviously, the other guy, Kaida, hasn't been finished, I don't think, on the regional scene. He may have early on. He might be on a crazy streak, or he's undefeated, something like that. But Nathaniel Wood, I'm definitely throwing a unit on him for sure, especially at, you know, I actually did already throw a unit. I caught him at +175. So if that line closes, I hope it does. You know, it would look good. I think people should be thinking the same way. I think a lot of people are going to be putting some money down on Nathaniel Wood. This is a crazy line, but anyway, all right, now we're jumping in to the yellow zone. All right, so we got Iwo Barnowski, we got CLD Christian Leroy Duncan, we got Mason Jones, and we got Mario Pinto. Now, there's some confidence in 2 of these guys for sure, 3 of these guys for sure, but it's the lines that I don't like. All right, we're going to start off with Iwo Barnowski here, okay? Likely he's superior everywhere in this battle. Likely this fight is a lot for him to get a finish and continue moving on after that exciting fight versus Iwo Aslan, all right? That's the story here. And I know, you know, I had Contra Davicius in the green zone. This is his first fight. Iwo at least had another fight. I'm just, it's the level of, you know, that Austin Lane is gone. He is just, you know, a punching bag at this point. Just be a little weary, but I do have my faith in Barnowski. I think he gets this job done. You know, for some reason, I just wasn't liking his lines of the -650 a whole lot. He could be higher, he could be a little lower now. And the same goes for Mario Pinto. He's a massive favorite here. And this is a low ROI play to throw him down on anything for a -900. And it's like there's no point. So he's in the yellow zone because yes, I got faith in him, but as far as the betting, you know, it's really tough because if you watch the video, as far as the breakdown, I'm sniffing a sub. I'm sniffing the sub. And I think as far as, you know, I might just go a half a unit because I don't have a lot of confidence, but I'm just smelling. But yeah, Mario Pinto at that -900, just very, very wide. It's hard to mess around with that. So definitely look into getting some props. That's kind of the story with every one of these, except for Mason Jones. Mario Pinto, he's a great fighter so far, showing very composed energy in the octagon. So he should get the job done. Next up, we got Mason Jones. Now, I have my faith in Mason Jones, but Axel Sola is good. But I think Mason Jones is just going to show some experience, and this is going to be a close fight, but I think he pulls it off. I think a spread play as far as, you know, Axel Sola won't be out of the picture. Mason Jones is on the yellow zone because I have faith in him, but I have that little bit of weariness, that little bit of just -130. I think those are pretty safe odds. I'll definitely be attacking like a 2.5 rounds over. Mason Jones, he's getting 5.7 strikes landed per minute. He's proven high level and high level fights. Volume and experience is really what takes it. Thing is he does take damage as well. So if Axel Sola gets in a groove, you know, he can wear it pretty well. But he usually brings on wars. This is gonna really test Axel Sola here. If he's that guy, he loses. If not, Mason Jones pulls this off easily. But yeah, Mason Jones minus 130. I like that line actually. And then next up, last but not least, we got Christian Leroy Duncan, CLD. He has the KO threat. He's striking, explosive, and very powerful, but he still has some defensive grappling that's questionable, and he could slow down if he's pushed. And Roma Delitse is no pushover. He's really good. CLD's on fire. I actually have a lot of confidence in CLD, but at that minus 425, I think that's a lot wide. I'm not going to tell you what I think Mario Pinto should be. I'm just, you know, I just don't know about it. You know, yeah. But CLD versus Roman Dolidze at a minus 425, that's why he's on the yellow zone. If not, he would easily been on the green zone. Throw him at a 350, he'd have been on the green zone. But I really do like maybe a CLD KO prop, maybe CLD by submission. Be wary, he's going against a very good guy. Maybe go that the fight doesn't make it. Either CLD gets submitted or he gets a KO. Maybe like an alternative double chance. But yeah, there you go. That's the yellow zone. Now we're gonna enter the orange zone. And now if you remember from the last video, green zone is kind of full in. Yellow zone, I like it, but slow down, think about it. Now orange zone is be wary, be very cautious of these picks, but I still like them, okay? So I just want to throw that out there, okay? We're gonna start off with Brandon Peticic. He has that finishing upside, but he has unproven disability here, and if extended, the risk increases, all right? He's going against Louis Sutherland. Louis Sutherland had a fight booked versus someone else before Walter Walker, like a card before that. I actually had Louis Sutherland to win. I want to say it was versus like Toffa or something. He is a good fighter. He is a really good fighter. My thing is, it's hard to trust him because he fought in Bellator, lost, fought in the PFL, lost, I think one other promotion, and then gets to the UFC and loses. So is he ready for that level of competition? Peticic, I think, is pretty good. Maybe something I'll, you know, target is like a Peticic in decision. A good amount of Louis Sutherland's losses are by decision, especially coming out of the regional scene and going up to like PFL and things like that, UFC. So I like him there, but be cautious. Louis Sutherland is good, and if this fight goes later, this could get ugly. This could get ugly, but I overall, I think Peticic pulls this off. Second up, we're going to go with Melissa Mullins. Now, this is, you know, a very low confidence pick right here. That's why she's on the orange zone. She's going against a good fighter, Luana Carolina. But I think she's just the slightly more cleaner fight, and she makes fights close. Low output fights, which I see this as being not a lot going on. A staring match in a sense, a lot of jabs. It's a risk and for the judges, and she is from that European area. She might be from London or like Liverpool, I don't know, something like that. I think she gets it done. I think she pulls it off, though she's in the orange zone because she's fighting someone pretty good. All right, so all right, next up we're gonna get into Abdul Karim Al-Sawadi. This is another one. Shamrock lost his last fight versus Nurul Aliyev or whatever. He started coming back towards the end. He was just very hesitant at that beginning fight. He was just throwing leg kicks, not really doing much, not fighting himself. The guy was a chain wrestler with decent striking, kind of a Khabib file style. He came back and he started looking a little better towards the end though. And now he has a second fight versus someone who is almost on the same level, just has one win, one loss. I did tape study. And I think Abdul Karim Al-Sawadi, you know, he has the style to beat Shamrock. But striking defense is questionable and he can be clipped. And Shamrock, I just see a head kick or something like that. He had some pretty clean kicks. He's pretty flexible when it comes to that kicking stance. And I think he can chin him. I think he can catch him. I think maybe he can show some levels on the mat and show him that he knows how to grapple and try to get this fight standing again, and then he can catch him. Abdul Sawadi, I think he's just going to pull it off. I think he's going to get the grappling. I think he's going to win almost in the same fashion that Aliyev did. I'm not super confident in that because I have a feeling Shamrock can pull it off as well. Do with that with what you will. Now we're going to end it off with Luke Riley. This is a tricky one for me. I wanted to put him in the yellow zone, but I really like Michael Aswell. I think, you know, if this stays a technical fight, Luke Riley wins 10 out of 10 times. But if this turns into a dog fight, this can get ugly for him. He's getting tested by a dog. If that power holds up and he's able to knock him out, good for him. He's on the orange zone. I think he's going to pull it off. But I just want to know, you know, if this gets late and he's not dropping Aswell will keep coming and keep striking. And at that point, if you get into his fight, technicality don't mean nothing. It's going to be hard to use technical skills when he's coming at you with that type of pressure. So that's why he made the orange zone. Trust me, he almost made the green zone. He almost made the yellow zone. I just have a lot of not doubts for Luke Riley. It's the respect that I have for Michael as well. And if he can turn this fight into a dogfight, if he can get it there, he has some chances to win. That's why Luke Riley here is on the orange zone. Now, let's get in to the prop zone. Some of these props kind of already went over, but these are so far, while I'm recording this, these are my favorite props, all right? Evloev, you know, it says +2, but I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to crank that up. Definitely target like a 3.5, 4.5 line. I think that fight goes almost to the distance, or the distance, I would say. So definitely, you know, boost up that number as far as the live and the takedowns, but I think that's very live to hit. I think he gets 3 to 4 takedowns for sure on this fight. Next up, we got Page versus Patterson. 150 plus strikes combinations. Both of these guys have very good significant strikes landed. Page is at like 5. I want to say Sam Patterson is at like a high 4 3/4, something like that per minute. They're definitely both on the lower absorb side, but I see this just end up being a striking battle. I see a lot of strikes coming in this fight. Even if it goes to the ground, I see Sam Patterson putting on a bunch of strikes looking for a submission. And he's going to throw a lot of strikes. 150 for both of these guys, both of them throwing it in. I think, you know, it's a pretty high number, but I think it hits. If you want to lower it down, you know, tuck your things up real quick, let those go in your stomach, and then drop it down to like 100. Be my guess, but I'm going 150. And we got Duncan versus Dolidze, the under 2.5 at -120. Again, I think, you know, I don't want to go Duncan under because Roman Dolidze, he's live to pull an upset, I think, especially if this fight gets to the ground. He's a good fighter, so going to under, you don't put your, you don't put your stake on CLD or Dolidze. You just say this fight ain't going the distance. 2.5 rounds, someone's going out. Someone's going to sleep. Someone's getting a little dose of NyQuil. Now we got Wood and Kaida over 2.5 -145. I think that hits. I think Kaida gives a lot of energy in that first round trying to finish Wood, realizes that he can't do it. We got a sloppy second round that goes all the way. You know, Wood starts putting it on him towards the late. Actually, I'm gonna just throw in a play that I actually just placed. Nathaniel Wood covering the third round spread at +1.5. I think Kaida could win a couple of these rounds, but I think that last round, when it gets there, I think Wood's going to show durability. Even if he loses, you know, this is protecting you from playing with the dog. I think he wins the third round if it gets there. And I think it gets there. That's some free game for y'all right there. We got Mason Jones versus Axel Sola. I think this goes over 2.5. I think Mason Jones doesn't have the craziest finishing side, and he's also very durable. I don't see him finishing Axel Sola. I don't think Axel Sola's finishing him. If it does happen, it's going to be towards the last 2 minutes of that fight when people are gassed out. I see this going over 2.5 easy. And then we got Contra Davicius under 1.5 at the -240, or you can look for, you know, around 1 or 2 KO. He does have like a submission or 2. I think just going under at the -240, put that as like a parlay anchor. I think that hits. I think he gets his job done early versus Tricoli. I think he makes easy work of him. I think the stylistic matchup there for it, it's just a lob for Contra Davicius. So I think they want him to do good. But now let's get in to the lock zone. You guys can probably already guess it. It might surprise you a little bit. Montas Contra Davicius. I know that says what it says, but you know, we all know it's that 700. The biggest skill gap, I think, on the card. He's the early finish guy. You know, the only risk is there's some unknowns out there. Don't get me wrong. I couldn't put Mosvar as the lock zone. Going against Lerone Murphy in London, couldn't do that. Luke Riley, I couldn't, you know, there's guys I couldn't throw. There's one guy that I have a lot of faith in coming into this card as a -700 favorite. I think he gets this done easily. Do a, you know, spread cover, do a inside the distance, KO or sub, put it. This is the lock right here for this week. Again, guys, thank you for tuning in. Go follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, join the Discord. Give me a follow on Juice Reels. $5, $4.99 a week for every single bet that I'm placing on every single book. If you like the beat that you're listening to, if you want to do any other business or want bets sent directly to you, send me an email at rhythmbetsllc.com. We out of here.